Alrighty then, Lebroskis. Yellow and welcome to another episode. So today's gonna be it's something new, I guess. And I've stalled this for long enough, and I just can't wait any longer because I think we will have a lot of fun playing this bad boy. So we're gonna be making a Metri on Gondua. Now, quickly going through the colors, and the male has the best camo colors, so we'll rock with that. As always, camo is king and takes top priority. Let's see which one is best. I think the brown one, yeah. What about the pattern? Perhaps this one. And then for the eye color, stand still, Larosky. Yes, yes, we know you're cute. Now stand still. Yeah, I think the yellow eye suits him the best. Now, 3% attack damage looks really stupid in my opinion. I don't really like the neck frill of it. Nighttime health recovery. Like, okay, maybe this is good because now it's permanently nighttime. Nighttime stamina recovery. But this one looks so skinny though. Although if you go one of the skins, I don't know what it's called, but you see these tiny hairs, you can make it look exactly like an Indoraptor. But let's check the stats and see which one of the two would actually be more worth it. Metriacanthosaurus. Metri. Metri has a 1.83 heal speed. That is insane. Wow. That's one of the highest heals. Wait, why does T-Rex have 1.9? This is something's not right. Something's definitely not right here. And the stamina recovery is decent as well. Aw, man. I guess we'll go for the Indoraptor look. Yeah. Alright, so we got the subspecies, the stam recovery one. I think stam is gonna be more worth because, yeah. Also looks a bit more raptorish. I think we already have a Riptor. Do we have a Riptor already? Oh, we got Saberwolf. So let's just go with Jago on this one. I know it's not really that much connected to it, but let's call it Jago. And here's Big Bertha. Yeah. There we go. So let's do our absolute best to grow the Metri as fast as possible because I just cannot wait to claw everybody. The server is good enough. Now, for those of you guys who don't know how a Metri plays or what it's capable of, it's pretty much basically, as far as the healing calls go, as far as the calls go in general, it's basically the carnivore counterpart of the Lambio. But it's way more agile and faster, but also doesn't have the knockback potential. But the damage potential is definitely there. Oh, what was that snappy? Okay, that was weird. It kind of looked like it snapped. It snapped in that direction when I pressed Alt turn. Right, so basically you guys, I always give this tip in the baby cave. You only want to eat enough food just to get the questy done, alright? You want to eat enough food to get the food quest done, but you don't want to overeat. Because if you overeat, it's gonna take longer for you to get hungry, and it's gonna take longer for you to get the food quest. And you want to avoid that. You want to get the food quest as soon as possible. Let's do this in both places here. And social. With water, you can drink water as much as you like, because sadly there's no longer any water quests at all, whatsoever. I hate that they changed that, but it is what it is. Ooh, nice. Nice, nice, nice. Very nice location. Very nice location. I quite like this. Now we're pretty much immune to fall damage because we're baby. We are a babu. The babu. So I've done this in one of, what was it? I think it was one of the Miragaya episodes where I got a bad spawn and I just yeeted myself off a cliff, and I got a really good spawn and I didn't really lose much growth. So depending on our need for speed kick W, we might end up doing a strategic Sudoku, let's call it that, in order to get to a better place. But that is not the time right now. Right now we have a really nice spawn at Triad Falls. And we can get to Wilderness Peak quite easily. We can get White Cliffs, we can get Young Grove, Grand Plains, Impact Crater. This is quite the nice spawn we got. And yeah, let's try to stick to the strategy that I always use, which is pretty much run around the map when we're small, because we have near infinite stam. Nice, there we go, already claw attack, and we're gonna unlock that right away. Tail attack is kinda trash. So pretty much the thing is that we go around the map when we're small in order to get the location quests without much effort. And as we grow bigger, we grow more sluggish. Then we start questing more, if that makes sense. So because it's easier to travel when we're small and we're less likely to be seen, we travel and we get marks and growth through location quests. Well, discovering zones. And then when we're more grown and less stamina and better able to defend ourselves, we can stay in one spot and we can quest. And we can also go for trophies. And we only stop for quests when we're young, if the quests are really easy. For example, that pinecone quest is really easy, but this picking flowers one is more obnoxious, because you gotta search for the flowers and button mushrooms independently. And if you find 4 flower patches, well, guess what? Tough luck, you're gonna be 1 flower short, because 1 patch has exactly 6 flowers. So you're gonna end up looking for a 5th patch, and that is gonna take forever to do. See, right now there's 1, 2, 3, that's not enough. And you're gonna be like picking them, and then you're gonna be running for another 3 minutes trying to find the other 2 flower patches, and then you need to find button mushrooms on top of that, and that is just not worth it at all in my opinion. So yeah, there we go, Young Grove, and we go for the home cave. Then we go for Wilderness Peak, and Wilderness Peak is a place that we are going to stop to quest. Whoa. Because it's just, you know, it's a really nice questing place. Let's see if we can kind of get a trophy here. What's up, Mr. Suko? That was the dasp that we heard. Hello, Mr. Dasp. There you go. We grab our claw attack. We grab the tail as well. Not that we need it, but might as well. And this is how we order our stuff. Exit, no, stay. Let's. There we go. Oh, he's trying to do the fake piercing bite. Right, now 13 seconds. We're at Wilderness Peak already, and we got a Grand Plains location quest. How lucky is that? That's actually quite nice. Right, let's see what kind of quest. The Roots quest is very good. Very, very good. I love the sitting animation of Metri. Oh my god, look at the stamina region, guys. Didn't I tell you that it's so worth to explore when you're young? And because Metri already has very decent stamina, a very decent speed overall, it's even better when you're a juvie. So one thing to note about how Metri basically play. If you guys have missed my Pandora Metri episodes, Metri is pretty much a yo, what's up? Why are you screaming? Oh, Succaroni quest. Metri is pretty much a would I call it a jack of all trades? Kind of. It's like a dino that has very decent stats overall, has quite decent DPS thanks to the claw attack, and is able to heal itself quite well. And it has a call called Hustle, if I'm not mistaken, which pretty much increases the trot speed of it and the dinos in the group by, I think, 30%. And what happens is that Metri's trot speed is already decent enough, but with Hustle, it basically turns into Pycno level of trot speed. So you will have an absolute blast traveling around with Metri. It has 3100 combat weight, which is on the upper mid-tier section. It's on the border of crossing to heavy mid-tier. So it's a bit lighter than Dasp and Pycno, but it's heavier than all the other mid-tiers, such as Cerrado and Megalania and everything else. So it's a it's very good. It's decently tanky. And it's able to dish out a lot of punishment and then able to heal itself. Provided you're not bleeding, that is. And just to show you the damage that it deals, pretty much. Let's see if it has a Lone Hunter. Nope. So its bite attack has a 0.5 second cooldown, you guys. 0.5. It's like beyond spammable, the bite attack. Like most dinos that have spammable attacks, they have a 1 second cooldown. What second is considered spammable? Like very high attack speed. But 0.5 is just beyond insanity. And then the claw attack is 1.1. It's a very odd cooldown, but you can see it's very spammable as well. So the bite does 20 damage, and the claw does 35 damage. So on a straight DPS comparison, the bite outperforms the claw attack theoretically, but because I think it's not exactly every 0.5 seconds, but a bit longer due to the animation. pretty much, I think claw attack would slightly outperform the bite, though I would have to test that. So I use claw attack the majority of the time due to the wide hitbox. And what claw attack does, Steve's cousin is super loud as always. What claw attack does, and pay attention, is that it lifts you up, and where your snout is, that's where the claws reach, see? So it's basically your head level, but a bit more inwards, if that makes any sense. For example, here, or let me clip my head into the tree, and see that the claws don't exactly reach as far as the head does. But basically what it does is if you're tanking face tanking someone of your same size, same visual size, it ends up you putting your head a bit higher up, kind of protecting you from getting headshot because they're more likely to hit your chest or your claws, and you will just claw them in the face and land a headshot. That is one of the great things about claw attack. The other great thing about claw attack is the fact that it's very good against raptors. It's really, really good against raptors, the claw attack. It has a very nice hitbox, a very nice hit registration, and it just demolishes raptors. Now, the bite attack, it's really good when chasing things that are out of reach of your claw attack. Say you're chasing something, and it's running away from you at equal speed, but it's only like an arm's length away, and your claw attack just isn't enough to quite reach it. In that case, you would use your bite attack. You would spam it in order to land the hit. So bite attack has a worse hit registration in my opinion. It's terrible against smaller stuff like raptors, but is decent in a chase scenario where the claw attack doesn't really have enough reach. So too long, don't read. Claw attack for pretty much everything, and bite attack only when you're chasing and your claw attack isn't enough to reach them. Also, another thing you guys might find really, how do you call it, attractive about Metri, is that it's immune to getting clamped by both pads and Sarcos, because it's above 3000 combat weight. And that is above their pay grade, so you're safe from being clamped from those two dinos. And I would say you're capable of face tanking a Pycno due to your heal and your fast attack speed. However, you cannot face tank a Dasp or an Aloe, but you can definitely beat them. You can outmaneuver them, and you can heal yourself should you take too much damage. But you should be able to beat them, honestly. Let's see if the like 1.5, that's not really much. So the tail attack does 0 knockback, it just does 20 damage. I guess you could use it, sometimes. But it's just an ability. It's just there for the sake of existing, pretty much. Now, I don't know why we didn't get more quests here. But I guess that's okay. Might have something to do with the Waystone. Now we just simply move on. Move on to Grandiose Plains. And see what we get. Now see, it's an absolute blast and pleasure traveling around as a juvie that has a lot of stamina while I'm getting blinded by the sun. That's actually quite nice, what they did. It's really good. Look at the trees just bending almost 90 degrees, that's quite scary. Ooh, look at that. Might be an opportunity to grab a trophy. Oof, that was such a nice rush of growth. We could try to see if they got a trophy and try to play it nice. It's 2 Amargas and a Pepperoni. And a Dasp. The Dasp is holding something, I think. And not really. The Amarga is picking something up. It might be a trophy. Yeah, they definitely have trophies, I think. Let's see if he will give the trophy to us. Don't headbutt. Don't. Thank you. Thank you very much. You guys are awesome. You guys are awesome. So, that is definitely a gamble I just took there. Because they could have just slammed me, and it's not very uncommon for them to just, drop the trophy and then just eat you and turn you into a SpaceX project. So definitely watch out for that. But because I am so small, it's a win-win situation for me. So either I get the trophy A, or B, they just, send me into the moon, and then I respawn and I lose barely any growth, and I just get a new discovery quest because I might have just respawned at the bottom right of the map, for example, and then I have a plethora of zones to discover and quests to do. So either way, it's a win situation for me. Now let's give them a thanks in global chat. Thank you. Proper thank you for them. That's a Rhamphorhynchus that just unlatched itself from something. Or it's trying to latch onto something. I quite like this. Our food is draining rather quickly. It's very nice. Because it means we will get location quests much sooner. Oh my god. This guy is just, excuse me for that. This guy is just a complete menace. Oh, I respect that. Right, so I'm happy I finally got to start growing a Metri, you guys. Because I had a blast. I really did have a blast in the Pandora episodes. And I think I'm just gonna be able to do so much with this dinosaur. It's quite nice. Very nice and great success. Oh, gotta break a little bit. There we go. Now, I did talk about hustle. We don't have scavenger that would have made the food quest drop even faster. Right. So, where's the trot speed? Metri has a trot speed of 500. So let's just compare that to the top trotters. So Pycno has 670, Hats has 640, Layton has 600. Wow, okay, that's insane. And Dasp and Metri have the same trot speed. So it's definitely at the upper level of trot speeds in the game. It's like a top what, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's like top 7, top 6. But here's the catch: once you get hustle, which says, I can't look at it right now in game, but I'll just read it off the wiki for you guys. A call that increases your group's trotting speed by 50% for 5 minutes within 75 meters costs 10 stamina to use. 5 minutes is exactly 300 seconds, and it has a 300-second cooldown. So it's pretty much a perma ability, same like the deep breath from the Pycno, right? So 20% additional trot translates into your 500 trot turning into 600. So your trot speed becomes the same as a kilo or a Layton, which is like one level below Hats and Pycno. And you guys already know how fast a Pycno and a Hats trots. So it turns your traveling experience into an absolute blast. Because you can hit the gas pedal, get some stamina off the system, and then you can trot your way until your stamina regens, and you can rinse and repeat, and you're gonna be anywhere you want in no time. So I really like that. And because you have two voice abilities, 2 slots, you can have both the healing call and you can have hustle at the same time. Oh, this is Spoon. Are you gonna attack me? I have beef with you, Mr. Frog. African bullfrog picked up you. Guys, imagine. Oh, that's one of the quests. I didn't know. Didn't pay attention. I have to hunt these guys for the quest Roni. So, imagine if they add Beelzebufo. I don't know if I'm butchering the name, but imagine if they add that as a playable. It would be. Honestly, I would just freaking play that 24/7. They could make it the same combat weight as a Hats. Sorry, Hats, what am I saying? As a Layton, or even a Deinonychus, and imagine it be able to jump around and take no or very little fall damage, and also be an insane swimmer. And it could have venom or something, or toxin. Yeah, toxin would be actually a really good fit for it. I mean, since we already have megafauna in the form of Megalania, because Megalania isn't a dino at all. Having a Beelzebufo in the game would be absolutely insane, you guys. Like, honestly, I know that this is like a dinosaur, a game revolved around dinosaurs, but I don't think it would hurt if they went the arc route with it, which is include dinosaurs for the most part, but also add megafauna, like even just, prehistoric mammals. Like, imagine a freaking saber-toothed cat, the size of a, well, it would be the size of a, I guess, Paki, in terms of combat weight. Paki Conk. I think it would be extremely cool. Because Megalania lived nowhere near, not even remotely close to the dinosaurs. So you cannot make the argument, oh, but these guys are millions and millions of years away from us humans, and therefore they're not able to add megafauna because megafauna barely had a couple thousand years away from us. Because the meg is there. Right, let me just... Let me just Google so I'm not just talking off my... So Megalania lived 2.5 million years to 40,000 years ago. Megalania. And pretty much the earliest, well, the last dinosaur to have lived, one of the last dinosaurs, I'm pretty sure is the T-Rex at around 69 or 65 million years ago. So just put that into perspective. Megalania lived around the same time as the mammoths and the saber-tooths and all the other megafauna lived. I know they will probably never do this, but it would be incredibly cool if I was... Oh, yeah, too fast. If I was the developers, I would seriously consider adding a megafauna to the game. I think it would just make the game very good. Much better than it is. I don't think anyone would have any complaints about it. Would you guys have complaints about adding megafauna to the game? Because I wouldn't. Alright, so now we're having some little Bluetooth drinking session here. And I think we're not getting a food quest yet because the Waystone quest is kind of blocking it. So let's get the Waystone quest out. And then we can hopefully get a food quest. Right, so, yeah, I always keep, my brain always keeps, recently, right? It keeps circling back to, like, a secondary game. I really want to, you know, play a second game. And, of course, record it and upload it for you guys. I just, there's so many games that I want to play and that I like. And I just can't put my finger on which one. And yeah, like I was thinking about doing Ark just now because I got reminded from the Beelzebub and everything else. There's so many other games, like for example, Helldivers, 7 Days to Die. Wait, go to location. I would go to the location, but I'm quite hungry though. Don't have that luxury right now. So 7 Days to Die would be one, Helldivers would be another. What else? Let me see if I can remember. What else? Yeah, I could play Space Engineers. Space Engineers is one of my favorite chill games. I really enjoy playing that one. See how good of a hit registration the claw attack has. Wasn't even close, and I'm slapping. Oh my god, he's going for it. What's up, buddy? Kinda took my hunt there. What can he do? He chose a really nice location here. Oh, there's two of them. It's quite nice. Yeah, like honestly, Space Engineers would be something I would be totally down for, just doing a survival solo session and recording it. I think that would be really, really good. Though it's a completely different different genre. For those of you wondering, it's basically a I wouldn't call it a simulator, but the kind of the gist of the game is that you spawn, well, you basically drop on a planet with a survival drop pod with a parachute and it's quite damaged. There we go. And you have to mine around for minerals and stuff. And you try to repair said drop pod, or you can just start building a ship from scratch. And you then build, for example, you don't necessarily have, for example, to build a ship. You can build like a rover at the beginning, and you can make really cool rovers. And if you guys have watched the series Lost in Space, I think it's called, you guys remember that one of the rover, well, the only rover they have, and it's a really cool one, and that's kind of the feel that you get when you make a nice rover. And then you have different types of fuels that you can run your vehicle with. You can have it run on electricity. You can have it run on hydrogen fuel. You can have it run on nuclear power. And each fuel source, whatever, has their strengths and weaknesses and difficulty of procuring. And just building the ship alone requires quite a bit of engineering to do. You kind of have to manually connect the thrusters, for example, to a hydrogen tank, and then you have to fill said tank. You have to get a generator to convert. For example, you mine ice and you convert it into hydrogen, and then you fuel the tank, and then you fuel the thrusters, blah blah blah. And it's quite the challenge to just lift it off the ground, let alone exit the atmosphere. And just doing basic things like that in the game is very satisfying and is very relaxing. So yeah, that's kind of like a short description of what kind of game it is. And yeah, I would like to play it, I guess, at some point. But I don't know, maybe I'll just end up making a second channel or something, because I'm pretty sure that most of you wouldn't be interested in watching it, because obviously you watch me for the pathoftitans content, right? So, but do let me know what you guys think about me just, adding a second game and doing like survival episodes on it. And basically, of course, it having commentary and showing you guys what I know and how I play the game, and having funny shenanigans happening every now and then. So, right, let's see. Yeah, we're gonna have to stick close to water for this one, but we can go and explore Green Hills, I guess. Because the thirst debuff is quite ruthless. Does it have a percentage? Significantly. It doesn't say how significant it is, but I'm assuming it's like 3 to 400% faster thirst drain. It has to be for sure. But hey, look at this. We're like 40 minutes into the video and almost adolescent. That is really nice. Now let's get another Platyhystrix and seal the deal. Yep. Broke the fall with that tree. It's quite funny, the running animation for Metri. Kinda just the tail going side to side. It's kinda like it's working. Alright, let's get on top of this rock. Oh, never mind, it's gonna be scared of us. Well, that was easy. I just noticed this in this episode. When I have tab for myself to open this menu. And when the quest, you see the globe icon on quests? When it's yellow, it means you have unfinished quests that you didn't turn in. If it's red, like the social and character, you don't have any quests. Right, so, well, let's just, I guess, let's just go that way. Not gonna wait a minute here. Although I'm not sure we're gonna be able to get to the next zone before the quests reset. Probably not. In that case, we're just gonna chill here. Chill here for the next 30 seconds. We either get... There's a good chance we'll get either salt rocks or rocks. My cat just sneezed. That's awesome. You guys probably didn't hear it though. This is so nice. Am I making you guys dizzy? Pick W. Infestation. Salt rockarinos. Yep. Hold it. They're untouched. What about the player? The server is just full as ever. Yeah, do you guys notice something about this episode? Do you guys see how carefree I am? Oh, I literally couldn't care less about other players seeing me or hunting me, despite me being tiny and unable to defend myself. And see, it's been like, what now, 40 minutes plus? And nobody has touched us at all. And basically you don't... Some people are just, you know... Their veins are full of adrenaline when they play. And whilst I understand that to some extent, what you need to understand is that there's nothing for you to lose. Give me just 2 seconds. My cat Aromi wants to go out. Kick the loop. Sorry, you guys. But I love my cat more than I love YouTube. Upkick. Right, so for some reason we're not getting quests. Yeah, Replenish Titans Pass is basically blocking my quest list from updating. That is quite weird. Hunt critter. Let's see what critter spawns here. We have to disturb this nest, my friend. Well, that's a very long time to disturb a nest. Hello, Discount Megalania. There we go. Yep, like I said. Took a while for the quest to update, but honestly I wasted enough time in this zone. Just gonna be moving on to the next. Now the tough choice here is gonna be to choose which side of the map we want to go next. Should we go down or up? Most likely you're gonna go up, because those zones up there should be enough to get us to sub-adult. And I always try to be as close as possible to Rainbow Hills, when I'm nearing sub-adult stage. Simply because it's just such a... Oh, hello, Steve Jr. It's such a nice place to get questing materials. This guy has the turning radius of Rex. There we go, adolescent. Beautiful. Righty ho, righty, righty, righty ho. Iderino, putrid scales, there's no other one. Ooh, yes, I'm gonna take this, thank you very much. And I don't have marks for this one though. Yeah, we're not taking healing call just yet. We want the hustle for the added mobility, you guys. We're hustlers. Let's go get this critter then. And try to get some water and hope we don't get clamped by some random circle. Let's deal with this one first. You're gonna run away. Perfect. Now let's disturb this nest in 7 business days. This looks way more realistic right now. And this was faster as well. Hello, discount back. What's up? Look at this guy. There you go. Forgot to run away. What the frick is that? Ooh, very nice. But there has got to be the EO track. Hello, my friend, why you run away? Have you got stomp? Have stomp? Yes, you do. But now you don't anymore. This guy's subadult. Whoa, where are you flying, bro? Yeah, I don't want to risk getting one tapped by another stomp, so that was enough fun. When we're bigger, we can do that. And he can just go into water if he starts getting low, so... Don't, Mr. Mech. Like, why would you do this, though? There's something that all mech players that I encounter that they share in common. And that is 2 things. Nice, we got quite... Yeah, this was actually quite nice. This is a very good spawn that we just got. So, mech players that I encounter, and this is like 100% of mech players I've encountered in my lifetime in playing this game. The 2 things they have in common is 1, they're all bad at the game. and I am just being as objective as humanly possible. And they're all just, you know, they're all douchebags for no reason. I've never met a friendly mech player. They just see that you're a juvie, you're small, and they just straight up go attack you like this one did. And that reason number 2 kinda just makes me feel good, because when I'm adult with anything, I can just wipe the floor with these mech players. Because of reason number 1, they're bad at the game as well. So it's kind of like a poetic justice / cycle. I don't know what's wrong with mech players. I really don't know what's wrong with them. But it is what it is. Now we can just hippity hop and ay, and go to the Desolate Pass and then Savannah Grassland, most likely. Oh yeah, I should probably be looking for a trophy, shouldn't I? Because it's already it's been 30 minutes. Yeah, it's been 30 minutes for sure since I delivered that trophy. I could go back to Grand Plains and gamble it, but it's just too much time lost for something that might not be 100%. Again, ooh, nice. We got this. We got a location quest exactly where we're going. We're trying to go. Oh, the swimming speed is abysmal. Look at that. It doesn't even look like he's trying to swim. Perfect, the wombo combo. Right, should we get the hide? Yeah, and then at the end we'll have enough marks to get the monitor. Well, it's cool. At the end we're gonna be able, at subadult stage, to get the healing call as well. And so the classic obnoxious quest. Flowers and button mushrooms. I hope that they just rework the questing system at some point. Like, do a complete TLC of the questing system. I think there's so many things they can improve on. And it would be a welcome addition amongst all players. Like, no matter how old of a player you are in this game, I think there's always a dino that you haven't grown or haven't tried or didn't really think you would like, and therefore you didn't try it. And then you change your mind kind of later. Same way like I did with a lot of dinosaurs. So being able to get them grown faster, I think, would contribute to player satisfaction. And I think the developers would do themselves a favor by doing that. Themselves and everybody else. Also, just for clarification, when I was drinking there and the Meg was there, I could have totally ran away or tried to sneak away. But I was just not. I didn't care enough to do that. And I also kind of gambled for him to be friendly. So in my stead, you could have easily just snuck away or just ran away, and maybe the mech wouldn't have noticed you in time. But like I said, I didn't really care enough to do it. So it's definitely technically my fault about what happened. But I think the outcome is quite good. Because we managed to get a better place. And just go back to questing. Now, had I been fully grown, I would have totally just steamrolled the meg. That's not even a... That is no contest at all. Possibly could just take on 2 megs at the same time as well. So, they did change Metri speed. Metri speed is 1050. And it's 25 actually slower than a Megalania. I don't know why they changed Metri speed to 1050, it's a bit weird. I think it was fine the way it was. I guess they probably thought that, hey, it's bigger, therefore it should be slower. But then you have that pick note that runs at 1100, so I'm not sure what they're on about. Yeah, let's go grab our abilities here. And the video is quite long, so I think we will grab the abilities number 1. And park the Metri here, so the next time that we do end up logging in for the next session, we're gonna have the home cave buff. It's gonna give us additional growth quite easily. So let's just see which... I think this one is gonna be good for us. So yeah, see? Call that increases your group's trotting speed by 20% for 5 minutes within 75 meters. And this works. Last time I checked, it worked when solo. So it should still work when solo. I really hope they didn't mess it up. And it just makes everything much better. But you guys will see. So anyways, stay tuned for more Metri. I think I'm gonna try to grow it as soon as possible. Wouldn't be surprised if I did just, you know, like 3 or 4 Metri episodes in a row. But we will see. And here's to looking forward to having grown Metri on Gondwa and just showing you guys how awesome of a dino it is and why you should play it. So anyways, as always, you guys, make sure to subscribe to the channel. It would really help out a ton. There's also a join member button on my channel page or the link in the description if you want to further support the channel and get access to some nice perks. And without further ado, I will see you guys later.